What's going on, everybody? This is Reece Talks Wrestling here. Today we have Smackdown ranked. Now, last night on Smackdown, it was pretty solid. We had a lot going on, especially The Rock's concert, which we're going to get into right now. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and check out any videos that you see in the recommended when the video ends. And let me know what y'all think on last night's Smackdown and what your favorite match was. Let's get right into it. So first thing first, we kick off and The Rock is back at home. And mind you, his entrance was amazing. He had a new entrance. It's kind of like a mix of his theme song now and the Hollywood Rock theme, and it was great. And he comes out and he's in Memphis, his hometown, and he says, finally, The Rock is home. And again, in this environment, The Rock didn't feel like a heel. Obviously, he's a heel in the industry. He goes to any other place, he trashes them. He trashes the city that they're in. But this time, The Rock was home, and he felt like a babyface. And if you watched like the first half of this segment, you would kind of feel weirded out by the intro because he acts like a babyface, and he gets babyface reactions throughout this segment. And The Rock will go on, and he has like these two people who are known in Memphis who kind of like jazz. They give like a little jazz vibe, like they play jazz or they're big in the jazz industry or something like that nature, blues or whatever. And The Rock is getting ready for his rock concert, and he ends up calling out Cody Rhodes. Now, obviously, before, if you haven't seen it on Instagram, on Twitter, on any other social media platform, probably, The Rock had posted a long, lengthy promo basically calling out Cody Rhodes and calling out his mom, because Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw would go on a promo with Michael Cole and cry a little bit. He would shed a tear and basically say that, hey, I can't give this to Dusty Rhodes, my father, but I can give it to my mom, and that's all that matters to me. And The Rock basically called him out saying, you slapped The Rock, because last Friday he slapped The Rock. He was like, you slapped The Rock and you think you're going to cry and do all this. This is the moment of your life. And I really like this because he did get a few. This is where he started getting a little booze here, because he's calling out Cody. This shows not only how over Cody is, but it kind of shows that Rock isn't going to be losing this heel persona about him anytime soon, even if he's in his hometown. And he doesn't have to disrespect the crowd to kind of get the point across. Hey, bro, I'm not the good guy in this situation. So the Rock goes on and he sings his song. I just listened to it. I'm not going to get into The Rock's lyrics. But he did crack a few funny jokes, making fun of Stardust, making fun of Seth Rollins. He mentioned John Morant, which I don't know how the media is going to take that. But again, Rock kind of just put it out there, and even when he got done, he was like, look, Cody, at WrestleMania, I'm going to make sure that you walk out a loser. And he basically called out Cody's mom as well, and he was like, look, the belt, he pulled out the his belt. You know how Cody has his belt that he walks around with, he throws in the crowd. The Rock had his version. He was like, look, I'm gonna whoop your son with this belt, I'm gonna make him bleed, and I'm gonna hand it to you, and I'm gonna have your tears run down. It was just great. It was a great promo by The Rock. It got the whole crowd, it got me hyped up for WrestleMania a little bit more. It got me hyped up for Rock and Cody's reaction. And again, I expect Cody to come back from this just by building tension between him and Roman, because again, Rock is not the champion. Cody isn't facing Rock at WrestleMania. He's facing Roman Reigns. But the fact that Rock has more attention than Reigns at this moment, especially when it involves Cody, Roman's number one contender for his championship belt, I expect Cody to kind of throw dishes like, hey, you calling yourself the Tribal Chief, but I'm more worried about him than you. You know what I'm saying? He's doing more of the talking than you. I expect a lot to come out this story. 10 out of 10. Let's keep it moving. Next up, we have LA Knight. So LA Knight comes out, and I forgot the reporter's name. I forgot her name. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I forgot the reporter's name. But she's asking LA Knight questions about what he thinks about AJ Styles not showing up and his hunt for AJ Styles. And LA Knight's like, look, I know AJ's not here. AJ said I need to be humbled, but if he really thinks that he'd come out here and humble me, he calls AJ Styles out. AJ Styles doesn't show up. So LA Knight cuts a really good promo. It got me excited for Mania. The crowd was behind him, and then AJ Styles comes from behind and attacks him with a steel chair. Now, again, this what didn't take too long. I do think they could have done a little bit more, have it in the ring or even have it backstage. They didn't have to be in like the front of the entrance, the ramp. But again, it did what it was supposed to do. And AJ Styles comes out, he beats LA Knight with a chair, And while LA Knight, disrespectful, while LA Knight is laying down on the ground, he pulls out a chair, lays the chair on top of him, sits down, and is like, yo, I accept your challenge at Mania. Because LA Knight came out, he challenged him at Mania. And the referees got in there, they broke it up. It was too late for LA Knight. He was already getting part of the chair pushed down on his throat, and he couldn't breathe apparently. But nevertheless, this did what it was supposed to do. I just wish it was like in the ring or backstage where they could have had a brawl or something, or a real beatdown. But it was good. It was good. Nonetheless, it was great. It did what it was supposed to do in terms of building us up for LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I give it an 8 out of 10 because it wasn't too spectacular, but it was still good and it needs to do what it needs to do. Randy Orton versus Grayson Waller. Now, for this match, Logan Paul and Austin Theory were ringside, and I already knew that they were going to pull up some shenanigans. I think Logan Paul did go on commentary. He didn't talk too much, but he was there at the commentary table. There were multiple times throughout the match when Randy Orton would throw Grayson Waller outside the ring, and Austin Theory and Logan Paul would like kind of walk up on Randy Orton like they were going to do something. And what happens is that Austin Theory pulls Grayson Waller as Randy Orton's going for a pin. He pulls Grayson Waller out the ring for his safety, of course, and Randy throws Grayson Waller back inside the ring. Austin Theory comes into the ring, and he hits him with this double RKO. It was great. He hit back-to-back RKOs. I can't remember the spot exactly. Again, go and watch wrestling, man. Go and watch wrestling. But I can't remember the spot exactly. But it was great. And the Grayson Waller RKO came out of nowhere. And that's when after Randy won the match, that's when obviously Logan Paul and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory start jumping Randy Orton. And then Kevin Owens comes out. Now, Kevin Owens helps Randy Orton. And he clears out Grayson Waller. He runs Logan Paul out the ring. And he clears out Austin Theory. And he goes to pick Randy Orton up. And Randy Orton gets in position to give him an RKO, and he's able to push Randy off just in time. And they're looking at each other like, yo, bro, what's up with you? And Randy's like, my bad. I didn't know. And I just got jumped. And I think that's going to lead to some tension. And if we're walking out of WrestleMania with a Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens feud, I'm not mad at it at all. I also could see a betrayal with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller potentially, because from what it seems like, Grayson Waller doesn't have Austin Theory's back, but Austin Theory has Grayson Waller's back, and Austin Theory is peeping that. So I could see us walking out of WrestleMania with a face Austin Theory here, face turn, and Logan Paul. I don't know where Logan Paul would fit in the mix, but I could also see a Kevin Owens and Randy Orton feud. But Kevin Owens and Randy Orton didn't get into it. They kind of stayed solid. And Randy, to kind of make up for it, would give Owens the hint that Austin Theory is trying to sneak him. Austin Theory, amazing sell. He gets hit with a stunner, flies up in the air, gets hit with an RKO. It was amazing. Amazing spots throughout this match. This match did what it needed to do. Easily a 9 out of 10. Next up, we're going to get to the big match with Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. I think it's a much bigger match than the LWO one that occurred early on in the night. LWO would lose, and the team that beat LWO would be going to the 6-pack tag match at WrestleMania for the championships, I think, or at least the next stage of qualifying for it. Me personally, I'm not a big fan. There's no character development in that match. I wasn't too familiar with the names in that match. I'm not going to speak on it too much, but I did give that segment a 6 out of 10. Let's get to Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio. I give the match a 6 out of 10, by the way, because of the character work. But let's get to Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee. There's a lot that happened after this match, which is fine, because for the casual audience who isn't diving too deep into people like me who are really focused on the big things that are occurring in WWE, this is able to get us kind of swerve back into actually caring about these LWO feuds and the build-up that Santos Escobar has with his group. So again, as expected, Santos Escobar and his guys, they are outside the ring during this match, and Dragon Lee loses. He loses clean, actually. He was distracted a little bit, but for the most part, they didn't cheat to win. They didn't give him a weapon, Santos Escobar weapon. He kind of lost getting distracted on his own. So Santos wins clean, and after he beats Dragon Lee, they start jumping. And that's when Carlito comes out. He's taking care of business for a minute, and then he starts getting jumped. And Santos Escobar hits him, and LWO start rising back up on their feet. And Rey Mysterio's music hits. Now, even at this stage in the game, Rey Mysterio's getting big pops. And he comes out, runs Santos Escobar out the ring, and it basically issues a challenge saying, hey, look, next week, you keep attacking people. You've been talking about, hey, I've been hearing you, man. Hey, me and Rey Mysterio are supposed to be family, and you're not treating me like it. Well, how about me and you one-on-one next week, and we'll see who's right. So I expect Rey Mysterio to win this match, I'm pretty sure. And I expect Santos Escobar kind of like go on a tear and really try to build up something for WrestleMania. I have no idea what they could do at WrestleMania. Obviously, the match that I have in mind is Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar, which they probably will get to there. But either way, the issue with the LWO and really wrestling as a whole when it refers to the LWO and Santos Escobar and his group, really the Hispanic wrestling in WWE right now, it just doesn't feel, because they're trying to make it feel like a culture, but it just doesn't feel important, especially with all the other stuff going on. Overall, I did give Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, and all the events that followed, dealing with them, including the Rey Mysterio and Carlito coming out, I gave it all a 7 out of 10. It was slightly better than what happened with the LWO on their match earlier, because again, that match was all in-ring ability, which is great, but there's no story being told. Nothing happened after the match. This time something did happen after the match, and I am a little bit excited for Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar next week on Smackdown. 7 out of 10. Last but not least, let's get to Bayley and Dakota Kai. Now, I've been really into this feud. I've been really into it because that betrayal was not only needed for just the sake of narrative, but it also stopped Damage Control from just being a really boring group that we kind of don't pay attention to. We kind of expected the betrayal by Damage Control because we saw them kind of like just pushing out Bayley slowly. But this is going to be a good feud, and I like all the stuff that happened. Let me get right into it. So, Bayley and Dakota Kai, they put on a good match. It's not better than in terms of in-ring quality, it's not better than any matches that happened beforehand. But they're still going to put on a good match. Nobody's bad in the ring on SmackDown for the most part. So they put on a good match, and you can kind of see Damage Control just kind of like waiting for their opportunity to throw Bayley off. But Bayley's handling it pretty well. And there is a point near the end where they all kind of rush in the ring one by one, and Bayley's taking them all out. And then we get this square off with Dakota Kai and Bayley. Now, Dakota Kai lays the championship down in the middle of the ring. She's asking Bayley, I don't know what she's saying, but, she's bucking at Bayley, and Bayley's bucking back. They're having a standoff, and I forgot who ran in the ring, but somebody ran back into the ring from Damage Control. Bayley goes to hit her, and that's when Io Sky just attacks Bayley, and that's when the match gets disqualified and the Damage Control starts jumping. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Here's where the rest of the women's division on SmackDown start getting involved, which I love. I love it when a group's issues and somebody's passed from a group issue causes a ripple effect inside of the division. I love that. So, if you don't remember, last week, I forgot if it was on Raw or SmackDown. I'm pretty sure it's on Raw. I don't know. Last week on Raw or SmackDown, I forgot. Bianca Belair and Naomi are watching this. I'm pretty sure it's SmackDown actually. Are watching this tape of Bayley getting interviewed by I forgot who it was, but she was getting interviewed by. I think it was Samantha Irvin. I forgot who it was that she was getting interviewed by. But she's getting interviewed, and Naomi is watching, and Bianca's like, yo, why are you getting involved in Bayley's match? She did that herself. She set up that group. She's the one who started Damage Control. And Naomi's like, look, I know how it feels like when a group of girls start being girls and start attacking each other. I know how it is. And she's giving her personal experience, you know what I'm saying? So, in the midst of Bayley getting jumped this week on last night, Naomi comes out, and I find this really, really interesting because Bianca, they're chanting EST. I'm expecting Bianca to come out, and she doesn't come out even after Naomi comes out and helps. Because usually when the two baby faces don't agree, the other one still is like, oh, well, I might as well just help because that's my friend. And they do, you know what I'm saying? But this time they didn't. And I'm not for sure if Naomi's going to have some words for Bianca like, hey, man, I know you've seen what happened. I feel like you should be getting involved. I feel like we know what's going on isn't unfair. And I like this. Because now Bayley not only has help, but this could be something with Bianca and Naomi. This could be something with Naomi and Bayley. Has Bayley really turned? I mean, there's so many directions they can go. I gave this segment overall from match to the aftermath 8 out of 10. It did what it needed to do. I'm really loving what's going on SmackDown. I love what's going on in WWE. Amazing. Let me know what y'all thought about this week's SmackDown. Let me know your thoughts on your favorite match or your favorite part of the show. And with that being said, make sure y'all subscribe, get notices for more. This is SmackDown Ranked. The overall ranking of this SmackDown is an 8. So not surprisingly, the SmackDown did what it needed to do. It was able to hype up events, hype up Mania matches, and be able to deliver in terms of storytelling besides literally one match. So I'm loving what's going on. And sometimes predictable is a little bit too much when it's repetitive, but sometimes predictable is okay when it's the right decision. So I'm loving what's going on SmackDown. The SmackDown's rating is 8. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment down below, and give me your rating for last night's SmackDown. I'll see you on the next video.